Welcome to How Now, the podcast where we talk about how to live in the now. And here's your host, Kim Martin Raymond.
Peace and blessings, love and light, and welcome to this edition of the How Now podcast, where we talk about how to live in the now. My name is Kim Martin Raymond, and I am a minister, spiritual life coach, holistic nutritionist, author, and founder of Redefining You LLC, where I help my clients to realign themselves, mind, body, and spirit. And welcome to this edition of the show. We are so glad that you are here. And if it is your first time listening to the How Now podcast, please go over to my website, www.hownowpodcast.com, and make sure you select your favorite podcast platform. And then what you can do is like, follow, share, and subscribe. Then you can also scroll to the bottom of the page where you can click on the banner for this week's show, and it will take you to the How Now YouTube channel where you can like, follow, share, and subscribe there. And don't forget to click the notification bell so you always know what's happening in the now. Again, that's www.hownowpodcast.com. Okay, so tonight is a special night. I'm so excited. We have our first preteen guest here on the How Now podcast. And so we're excited that he is here. And he is, uh, you know, quite a remarkable young man. And so, of course, as is customary with the How Now podcast, I'm going to have him introduce himself at this time, and then we'll find out what's going on in his now. Tell us who you are.
My name's Terrence, but I go by TJ. I like to do basketball, football, and my main focus is karate. And yeah.
All right, now we are so glad that you are here. Okay, and he said it's okay for me to call him TJ, so that's what we're going to call him. Okay, and of course, because he is a preteen here on our show, he has a lovely young lady who's sitting next to him, and she's going to tell us who she is. Okay, all right, Mom, hit it.
Hi, my name is Antoinette. I am TJ's mom, and not just mom, I'm more like a sports coordinator, equipment manager, coach, all the above. So just more like support for him, besides being a pharmacist on my day job.
Okay, awesome. We are glad that you are here to support him, and that's going to be a part of what we'll be talking about this evening too, because it's all about having a wonderful support system. So first and foremost, TJ, what grade are you in?
7th.
You're in seventh grade, so school has started back for you in the area where you are.
Yes.
Yeah, so a lot of kids are going back to school. I never know. I'm here in the Atlanta area, and so sometimes you don't know where the school started. I know school just started. I'm originally from New York, so they just started back a couple of days ago too. So y'all have been in for a couple of days. You're in Florida?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So all right. Happy to have you both here. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about what it is that you're here for. We're talking the premise of tonight's show is going for the gold. And that's because you are recently a recipient of something very special. So tell us what you just received a few short weeks ago.
So in July, I went to Dundee, Scotland, and I won 2 golds and 1 bronze, and it was a world's competition.
For what sport?
Karate.
For karate. So all right, look, hands clap for him for that. 2 gold medals and a bronze medal, you said?
Yes.
And a bronze medal. Okay, but what kind of karate? What kind of karate do you do? Is there a certain level? Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, I'm a black belt, but like the type of karate I do is Shotokan. Jap
Shotokan,
Japanese Shotokan.
Japanese Shotokan. Okay. And so do they do it based on your age, or do they do it, who do you compete against? Do you compete against other children that are your age?
Yes, so my division, well, I was 11 at the time, so I was in was it 10, 11?
That was strictly 11.
I was in strictly 11.
Uh-huh.
But in like other tournaments, I'm in like 11 and 12. But for Worlds, I was in 11 and 12.
Okay, wow. And he didn't say just local, he said world, people. He said world, okay? So he was in Dundee, where was it? Dundee, Scotland. Okay,
Mhm.
and how long were you there?
I was there for 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Oh my goodness. Mom, did you go with him?
I did.
Oh my,
Actually, he had a national tournament in Fort Lauderdale that he was required to compete in. And then we had to go to Scotland because he was picked for the Scotland team. He was actually the youngest on the team, and
wow.
technically he wasn't even supposed to be on the team because it was supposed to be 12 and up. So he
Right.
was picked before the age limit and
Wow.
brought over to the team. So it was a
Oh my
2 week
goodness.
set of tournament that he was chosen to compete in and then
Yeah.
brought over to the Scotland team.
Awesome. Well, like you said, the youngest. And then I know, for those of you who are listening, TJ just celebrated a birthday last week. So he just turned 12. So yeah, he was in there. He was in there. He was in his 12th year of life. So it was okay for him to be able to compete. So that's cool. That's cool. So you were hand selected to go and do that. Now, when you compete, is there any specialty or any special things that you can do while you're competing in that type of karate? What does it entail? Like, do you use nunchucks, or do you just,
Uh,
do moves? How does that work?
we do like a bow. It's like kind of like a long staff. We do bow. We do nunchucks. We do. Do you know what sai is? Like
I don't. Tell
it's
me
like
what size.
from like it's a long stick, and then there's two on the side.
2 prongs.
Okay.
Yeah, we do those also, and tonfa,
So a
Okay.
tonfa
like
is
a
almost
baton,
like a
like a
baton.
baton.
So
Uh-huh.
they have weapons that they compete in, and then they have where they do what they call kata. It's almost like a performance of what the defense would look like, and then they
Okay.
actually fight against each other. So it's up to long and short weapons. So that's their own event within themselves.
Uh-huh.
And then there's the kata, and then there's kumite, the fighting that they fight in. So he competed in 4 events, and then as you get older, there are more events that you can compete in.
Gotcha.
So once he gets to be 16, there's up to about 6 events he can
Oh,
compete in at the
okay.
world events. He was even at a point where he could have, if he was 1 year older, they wanted him to go to Buenos Aires,
Wow.
but uh,
Oh, okay.
Brazil.
Oh, Brazil.
They
Okay.
Brazil.
wanted him on
Okay.
the Brazil team, but
Wow.
they called us and it's like, unfortunately, he was too young. But they even looked
Yeah.
at him to go to the Brazil team to compete in the International Sports Federation.
That is crazy. Wow. Wow. TJ, dude, that's a lot. Like, that's a
Yeah,
lot.
that
So,
was a
so
lot, and that was supposed to happen this past week. So
okay.
that would have happened last week if he would have made that team.
Right,
So
right.
I'm almost
Oh
kind
my
of
goodness.
glad he didn't make that team because we were
That's a
already,
whole lot of time.
yeah,
Now he would have missed school. Would he have
he
missed
would
some
have missed
school for
school
that?
for that one.
Wow. Wow. Now, do they make allowances for things like that when he has to be in school? Like, would they make packets for him where he can do some work so he doesn't miss out
Yeah, we would
on
have to partner with the principal and then teachers for that. But
okay, because he's not homeschool, he goes to public school?
he's in a charter school, but he actually goes to school because he actually likes the socialization. But it
Yeah.
gets to a point that some of these kids, they compete so much that you actually have to pull them out to homeschool them because
Right.
of the level of training and the level of competition that they have to do. Because this is just one league of it. There's another league that he works with another guy that he's actually in Chile competing in, that
Wow.
TJ could have probably like he worked under him, and that guy has given TJ the commendation of saying that TJ is as good as he was at this age.
Wow. Wow. So you see, that's a lot. That is a lot of training, I'm sure. Now the medals that you got, were they a combination of all four of those events together that you got the gold in, or was like the gold for using one particular weapon, or was it for the combat? How does that work with the
Um,
gold medal?
So I got one gold in like bow, and then I got one in nunchucks, and then I got one in sparring, fighting.
Wow. Wow. Okay. That is awesome. And then, like I said, all these opportunities to be able to go to different countries, I'm impressed, even in the fact that not only are you getting these gold medals, you're going and having opportunities to travel, internationally. What's it like going to Scotland? You actually get able to be there for 2 weeks. Were you able to go outside and, outside of the training area and get to see the sights?
Yes. So I don't know specifically where we went, but we went out like to the city part. It wasn't
Uh-huh.
in Dundee, it was in another part.
We were in
Uh-huh.
We were in St. Andrews.
St. Andrews, the
Okay.
oldest university that was built and where they invented golf. And
Wow.
so we got to walk around the town center. And what did you see?
We saw like what is it? I don't think it was a beach. It was like
Their castle.
their castle, and there was water. It wasn't a beach, was
It
it?
was the North Sea.
North Sea.
North Sea. Wow. How many 12-year-olds, how many 11-year-olds do you know that have an opportunity to go international and see an actual castle at the North Sea? That is impressive. That is impressive that you have an opportunity to go places where people I've never been to Scotland. And here it is, I'm 53 years old. I'm old. Been around for a while, and I have never been to Scotland, and it's a wonderful opportunity. Have you been to any other international country? Was this the first time you were in an international country?
Yes.
Awesome. So you had to get a passport and all of that, huh?
Yes.
That is so cool. So you got
Was-
a stamp in there already. So the rest of it's going to be gravy. You'll be able to go and you got your book started already. I've been a couple of places, but that is impressive to be able to do that. And did you get to meet any of the children there? Were there some
Uh,
children who lived in Scotland that competed?
yes. Yes.
Okay. Okay. So did you get to talk to them and talk to them about how, life is or how school is for them, how things are different?
Um, yeah, I I talked to them, but I didn't get to like see how their schools was.
Right, right. You just got to hang out with them. Were they different? Was it anything that stood out that was different? Like, do they play video games and do things like you do here in the US?
They do video games and stuff, but the only thing I really saw that was different was like the drinks and the food.
Oh, okay. So tell me about that. What was that like? Do they have like soft drinks or there's something? What did you
They
have that was different?
they have soft drinks, but it tastes completely different. It did
So,
not taste
like,
this.
what drink did you have? What was something like? Did you have like Coca-Cola or any or Sprite? What was the drink that you had that was different?
So I had tried Dr. Pepper, and it
Huh?
didn't taste. It tasted like diet Dr. Pepper, because
Okay.
they said that the reason why it tastes different is because like in the US they put like stuff in there to make
Right,
it taste better and
right,
chemicals and stuff. And
right.
over in the UK they try to do a little bit healthier.
Yes, yes. As a holistic nutritionist, yeah, I noticed that they do that in different countries. They certain things they're not allowed to have in different countries, like certain foods or certain cereals and things that they are banned. And we have them here in the US, but they're banned in other parts of the country. So yeah, it's interesting that you got to taste things that were different. But these are wonderful experiences to have, Mom. I mean, it must have been incredible even for you to be there also and to be a part of that, what did you call yourself? I want to make sure I got the terminology right. You said you were his
Manager, sports equipment manager, tour
sport.
guide.
Yes,
But
but you see, there are some benefits. Yeah.
he for him, he got to see it, but he appreciated the architecture. He's like, I don't like the food, because he really is onto the sodas, but he
Right.
was, it's so beautiful here. So he appreciated the things that he saw. He liked the flowers, he liked the architecture, he enjoyed the scenery. So I like the fact that he could, take it in and really appreciate what he was experiencing.
And you're seeing it beyond just looking at the pictures in a book or looking at pictures online. You actually got to be there in real life, in real time, getting to see, portions of history, a castle. Did you get a chance to go in the castle, or did you get, did they do any type of tours or anything like that? You just saw it from the outside.
I just saw it from the outside. I don't think they were letting anybody in right now because
You did when the guy gave us the history on the weapons, remember?
Oh, we did go in the castle. That was
Oh,
so
okay.
it was so scary because the guy, there was like fake people, and then there's an actual guy, and he's just hi. Scary.
So they were like standing still like statues, and also they started moving.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I'd freaked out.
But he gave a little history on the weapons that they use through war and farming and everything of that. So that was a really interesting little tidbit.
An up close and personal history lesson live. How amazing is that? Oh my gosh, I'm so impressed. That's so exciting, to be able to say that you went to Scotland, be able to say that you went into a castle, and be able to say that you competed and actually won gold. Okay, so let's scale back a little bit and talk about, when you started training. When did you start doing karate?
I started at like, I think it was 4. I had just turned 4, and I went to this new school, and they had karate, and I was like, oh my gosh, I want to do it. And then I started doing it, and at first I started doing it as a joke, and then when I got hired, and then they had some medals, and they said the only reason why you can get medals is you go to the dojo and you get older. And I got to the age of 7. I think it was 7.
Yeah.
And they let me compete. My first year, I think my first year, what did I get? I did good. I don't remember.
His first year of being on the team, he got state champion. He did. I just thought, okay, we're gonna do this after school program.
Right.
It's gonna be 1 day a week type thing.
Right.
And then he went to the summer camp at the dojo and saw the medals. He's like, I want those.
Right. So you see, all of a sudden, it was just an interest. It was like, I see that little shiny thing up there. I see that goal. I see that medal. I see that trophy. I want one of those.
I want
And
one
so,
of those.
yeah. And so it just started with, hey, like you said, it was just something, oh, I'm just doing this for fun. And now all of a sudden,
And
you're
they said the
competing.
only way you can get those is you have to go through this program and work through it. And you have to go through these. He said, sign me up. I want to do it. And we signed him up for the program. They had to go through Little Tigers. He had to go through the beginning.
I had to restart.
He had to restart. He was willing to restart from the program that he was already in to work his way to get on the team.
Yeah.
To get to those medals. And so he restarted, and he went through the 2 programs that he had to go to be able to get on the team. And I was just thinking, what is this?
Right.
And his first competition, I'm like, I don't know what to expect. I had no expectations.
Right.
He went away with medals and then gold.
Just kept going and going.
And he just kept going. And then he didn't like the fighting part. He was like, we had to give him, hey, you have permission. This is the only time you have the ability to hit
karate chop somebody.
And he was like, you sure it's okay? He didn't want to hit.
Right. But well, I mean, we're taught, don't do that. You get suspended, don't put hands on people, even though, hey.
He hates getting in trouble. So he didn't want to fight. He just wanted to
Right.
do the katas. But he came
Yes.
out that first year, what, in 2019?
Yeah, it was 2019.
And he came out state champion in katas.
Wow. And here it was something that you didn't want to do, and now all of a sudden it was like, it's okay. Like I said, you asked for permission and then you went for it. But
And
look at what happened. And so now I can only imagine that you said 2019. So here it is, you're a state champion, and then all of a sudden the pandemic hits.
yep.
Uh-oh. So what happened there? Were you, because how many days a week were you going and doing karate? Was it something you did every day, once a week? How, when you really started competing and started, doing those things, how often did you have to do that?
Well, like in 2019 when I started competing, I think I went because I was a lower rank, so I went to like I think it was only like Monday,
No, you
Wednesday.
went
I was
6 days a week, dude. 6
6
days
days
a
a week.
week.
I don't remember. I went 6 days a week
We were at the dojo 6 days a week.
in 2019.
Wow.
I thought it was 20.
No,
Or like even before
6
then?
days a week. Because he was a lower rank. And
Yes.
they had classes all the time. And then they had team training, which was a 3-hour team training on Fridays. And then that's when like we had a bigger community in the karate, and they told us about private lessons. And so
Gotcha.
when he began private lessons, so he would do it on Saturday. So Monday through Saturday, we were
Right.
at the dojo.
Oh my goodness. And so and in addition to your studies.
Mm-hmm.
So you had to go, so you were in school, and so after school you were doing this, and you had to do homework and all that other stuff like that. Mom, how were his grades?
Oh, that one I had straight A's.
Yeah.
Hey, all right, y'all. He said straight A's. Okay, yeah. So yeah, that requires discipline. So not only did you have to be dedicated to to your studies, in addition to the karate, you know, you had to be all around. And I'm sure that had to be hard, huh?
Yes.
Yeah. So, I have to ask, how did it feel to be able to, did you ever feel like, oh my goodness, it's just so much. I don't feel like doing all of this.
No. My
No.
sister used to do karate. She quit, and then I think grandma, it was you. You asked me, "Oh, do you want to quit?" And I'm like, "No."
Yeah, I just asked him if he still wanted to do it. He said, yeah. And I knew he loved it. Is when I knew he loved it was when he was walking around. We would be at a restaurant and he'll just stand up and start doing karate.
Wow.
He'll
So you
be in
just
the
loved it.
street and he would do karate. He would just out of nowhere, he would do karate.
Wow. So,
And
I was gonna say, even when you were doing your studies, or if you ever got bored, did you ever use any of the things that you learned in karate to help you with your schoolwork?
In my schoolwork, let me think.
I mean, and maybe not. I mean, it's okay to not, but sometimes when you learn, or sometimes you have to be disciplined, you have to practice, your moves in order to do well. Did you feel the same way about your studies? Like, I have to study just as hard, or I have to, I have to want to get that A, because it's not that everybody doesn't just wake up and say, hey, I want to get all straight A's. But something in you said, yeah, I want to get all straight A's. That was something that you worked towards, right? Or did you just say, I'll be okay with a B?
No, I work towards the A.
Yeah. Yeah. So you see what I'm saying? Apparently, you just had a drive. There was something in you that just said, I want to excel, and not just in karate, but in all the things that I do. Takes a special person, TJ. Not everybody thinks that. Some people go, okay, yeah, I'm all about this karate, and my grades are just gonna have to wait because everything I'm doing is about karate. And you said, no, I want to excel in school too. That says a lot about who you are as a person, you know?
Yeah.
That's a lie. That's a lie. You keep saying, no, I want to be that straight A person, so you want to be that all-star. Okay, so that's good. Now, dare I ask, not only that, so he does, getting straight A's, he does karate. You weren't involved in anything else in school, were you?
Um,
Not at that time.
Not at school. Wait, no.
Well,
In 2019, I was doing basketball. I was doing
Okay.
I did do basketball.
because like we ended up changing schools recently.
Yeah, because
Oh, okay.
the gas after because of COVID where
Because
Yes.
COVID happened and
Yeah.
everything, we got closer to home for school.
and because my karate is also like 30, 40 minutes away.
Oh,
But
wow. Yeah.
he's now wanted to do flag football, basketball, and then one day he's like, I want to do tennis.
No, wait, I don't want to do tennis. No,
And
Just-
well,
Okay.
he took that
That's
off,
a relief.
but he had put that on the
What's up,
table.
TJ?
And then
What?
like but he's the kid that he loves physical fitness and he loves like we want to be healthy and he wants to when one kid's like they're at training and they're getting ready to do more conditioning, he's like, oh yes, this is awesome, let's do more.
Wow. That's a lot. And you want to do flat and you'll still be able to do that and your karate at the same time too. Man, how many hours in the day? How do you schedule all of that?
He will come home from school, he'll play basketball and then go to class for karate class. I'm like, okay, I'm still good, let's go do some more.
I don't
My
find
goodness.
I don't think that like after like the what's it called for team training, I don't think the conditioning is that hard. It's just like don't have to think about it that much.
Okay, and so when you're doing all this, and then so when do you do your homework? Like after all of those, after all that's over, do you come home and do your homework then?
When I moved to my new school, it's like a A and B day. So you have four classes a day and they're an hour and 20 minutes.
Oh,
So
okay.
I most of the time don't have homework, but sometimes I do because like it's
Okay.
hour and 20 minutes. Whatever you don't finish, you just do for homework. But
Gotcha. So that's good. So that's helpful because I see some children with their knapsacks and it's like, it's like I have rolling bags because there's so many books and things. But the program that you're in is a little bit more of a flex program. So you're able to do your studies and do things. So you have exams and things that you have to take to show your proficiency when you don't have homework.
yeah, but when I was at my old school, coming
Yeah.
back from karate and going straight, and I had to do my homework, that it was so stressful and I was so tired, and I was like, I had to do it in the morning sometimes.
Yeah, yeah.
Because-
But at least you were smart enough, like you said, to be able to get through it. So that's a lot. It's a lot. I think about, young people and mom, I'm sure you can attest to this because like you said, you have to get him to all of these different appointments in addition to having your own career and things going on for yourself as well. To be able to, have children have schedules like this. I'm sure you have like a little planner, a calendar, or something that helps you keep track of all the things that you have to do. I mean, even for you, TJ, is that do you write things down or do you just remember all those things that you have to do in all those
Nothing
places you
gets
have to be?
remembered.
Yeah, exactly.
So I have a couple of devices. I have my phone. So I created a planner, a calendar for him that's shared between him and my mom. So
Okay.
we can stay on the same page for us.
Right.
For his schedule. Then I have one for work for myself. And
Right.
then I have an appointment schedule because I tend to go to the doctor myself. And then
Okay.
but
Yeah.
that's in the phone, so I can actually have it dinged to me. But then
Right.
I have things to do that I have to write down because if I
Right.
don't have it in front of me, I'm not going to remember. So
Right.
I had to have a task list that I need
Right.
to have written down for the day, or it's not going to
Right.
be done for the day. So
Right.
I have to have
Yeah.
it at multiple places because it's
Yeah.
so much going on. And
Absolutely. Absolutely. And so like you said, there's so many things that you have to be scheduled. And this is going to help him even as he gets older, because as you get older and compete more and have other things that are going on in your life, you're going to need to be able to keep track of them. Because then when you get old like me and can't remember anything, I tell people I'm memory resistant. That's what I call myself because I can't remember anything. If I don't write it down, it's gone. So yeah, I mean, you're starting young and being able to plan and schedule and have so many things. And just like you said that sometimes things can get stressful. So of course I need to ask, what do you do to relax? Sometimes I'm sure that your sporting events and things are fun, but are there other things that you do just so you can
Um,
be a regular kid?
yeah, when after school and before karate, normally I just play basketball, play football, hang out with my friends, sometimes stay inside, watch YouTube. But
Okay.
yeah, because basketball season hasn't started yet, so yeah.
Do you play video games? It's I know you say you hang out with your friends. That's cool.
Uh, I don't play video games that much anymore. I've been like mostly focusing on sports, but
Nice.
when in like 2020 and 2021, I
Yeah,
used to
when the pandemic hit. Yeah. What did
yeah.
you do? I mean, because you weren't able, were y'all able to meet, or how did you train during that time?
So I have a big backyard, and me and my mom just used to go train outside. And I had to when I it was so hard when I had to learn new katas for testing,
Yeah.
and for testing, I had to learn online, and it was so confusing and
Oh
hard.
my goodness. So did they do like Zooms with your dojos or any, so you had to do them, but because you weren't physically there, it was hard, huh?
So
Yes.
he learned, we never stopped our personal trainer, or he has private lessons. So we never
Right.
stopped our private lessons. And we
Okay.
always
Okay.
able to go in on 101. So that was able
Gotcha.
to still be able to talk 101. Um,
Right.
but the classes were stopped because of the gym capacity that it was
Right.
held. But TJ is the type that if he learns something, I have to learn it
Right.
with him.
Right. There should have been like a little mini gold medal that you won when you won
Right.
this.
So like when he learned how he taught himself how to fish at like the age of 4 or 5. And so when he learned how to fish, he made me learn how to fish. So when he learns his katas, I have to learn the katas for karate.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So it's physical fitness for you too. So I can imagine, yeah, there's some benefits there,
So
besides just being a kid, you know the techniques too. And you could be like, okay, he needs to do this, turn here, do that. I'm sure.
so right. So when he does his katas, like I know when they're wrong. So when
Right.
he has to go and practice, I'm like, no, you didn't do that right. So I have to study them as he learns them so I can tell him whether they're wrong or right, or if he's doing something wrong or right. So
And
he,
that's where a huge support system comes in.
as
I'm
an
just thinking,
assistant coach,
yeah, but just like you said, when everything shut down, and you said he had his private lessons, you went in the backyard with him, and you trained with him,
yeah,
and that's huge, and that says a lot about the importance of having a support system, And then you said your mom, so you have other people who are also there when you can't be, because even as a mom, okay, we run out of gas sometimes.
yeah.
We get sick, things happen. So I'm sure when you're not well, I'm sure that you got people in place to kind of help him, along when you can't be there, because like you said, you can't be there all time. So you said you have your mom who's there to help. Is there anyone else who helps you out when?
We have a huge village that come in and support. My mom is probably the biggest supporter that comes in, but then our church comes in, and I mean, there's just a lot of people that really support him. They love to see him doing what he's doing because he's a young Black man or Black kid
Yes. Yes.
that being positive, that has a good positive outlook on things, that he really doesn't cause any trouble, but he's still a kid, and I try to
Yeah.
make sure he balances that as much as
That's right.
possible.
That's right.
But
That's
he still has a talent and a gift that
yeah.
has to be supported and everything.
Yes. And
So
you could have easily said, hey, you know what? I don't have time to be driving you back and forth, so you're not gonna be able to do this. but
Yeah.
you didn't squelch his dreams. You allow him to do those things. And like you said, he's talking about flag football and talking about basketball, all these other things. And I'm sure you're like, okay, car only got 4 wheels on it. We're gonna be all over the place. But I love that you support him and you encourage him in what it is that he does. And I like TJ that you do have a balance because that is important. Yes, it's good to be able to compete and go to school, but yeah, at the same time, you're 12. You're a kid and you want to be a kid and enjoy your childhood as well. So I like that there's a balance, that you're taking care of yourself and having fun too, because I think that's an important part. As long as you're having fun doing it, you know what I'm saying? Then it's a good thing. I think when it becomes stressful, then it would change. If it was just that you were under stress all the time, would you enjoy it as much as you do?
No.
No. Yeah, and so like I said, I think it's important that you, like you said, that you have that downtime. Now you said on top of that, am I correct in that you teach a class too?
Yes.
Tell me about that. My goodness.
Okay. Um, so I teach so there's brown belts, there's blue belts, there's green belts, and there's purple belts. I teach the blue belts mostly, and it is sometimes stressful because like there's also little kids, and like yeah, they're always messing around. But like I still like to teach. It's
What
fun.
age group are they?
They're like so it's like different. So there's different ages. There's some kids that are like 9, some kids are 10, some kids are 13.
They could be older
Okay.
than him, they could be
Oh,
younger. Yeah.
and he says it can be stressful working with these kids.
It can be stressful working with the little kids.
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, I used to be a teacher, so yeah, welcome to our world. Okay.
I tell them all the time. I remember you that
All
kid.
right. Okay. Okay. You were a kid. And so, yeah, I can imagine. And so you just teach them different techniques as well. Now, do you have do you have an adult that's in the room with you helping you? So are you co-teaching or you just teach the class by yourself?
I co-teach.
Okay. That is awesome. Um, Oh, I know you must be extremely proud of all that he does and
Yeah.
the drive that he has. That's huge. And you said you have a sister?
Yes.
Okay. And so the encouragement, the role model that you are, not only for your sister, but for your friends and for those around you. That's a big responsibility. And just like you said, Mom, as a Black male, we have to make sure that we're there and that we're supporting our young Black men. And so I am just so impressed by all that you are doing, TJ, all that perseverance that you have, that drive that you have, that you just said, this is what I want to do. And you're taking a positive role in doing that. So I applaud you, first of all, for all the great things that you're doing and for all that you will continue to do as you go on. You're 12 years old. I can't imagine. I'm gonna have to have him come back, Mom. As
No
as the
problem.
years go by, you're gonna have to definitely come back and tell us all the wonderful things that you're doing. And he's gonna have to come and have all the gold medals around his neck. And I don't know if you're gonna be able to hold your neck up, but you want to see those gold medals and be able
He
to
said he
see
could go
all that.
grab a few of them because
Let's do it. Why not?
because
No,
he
yeah, we want to
he
see what all he's doing. Mom, what an awesome kid.
thank you.
How
Normally, I
proud.
don't doubt when he says he's gonna do something, he sets his mind to it. So
And you support him. And that's something that is so admirable because there are some parents who are working 12, 16 hours and they have children who desire to do things like this and can't. And so it's wonderful that he has an opportunity to be able to do what he loves and that provisions are being made for him to do that. And
yeah,
that's where we applaud you as a mom because you're supporting his dreams. You're not telling him, well, look, I'm too busy. I don't have time for this. We can't do that. You know, you're making, the necessary pivots even in your own life to make sure that he's able to do the things that he loves. So I hope even in doing that, while he's grabbing those medals, how are you taking care of you? What are some self-care things that you're doing for you, or some things that you can do to encourage other moms who are supporting their young Black men?
Sometimes I take I do journal. I do, believe it or not, Epsom salt baths. But I watch K-dramas. That's my thing. I watch K-dramas.
Whoa! Whoa! My goodness! You already got a neck full. You got a neck full. Oh my goodness! Oh my god. Okay, so let me see.
So,
And so, which are the ones that you just got? Or tell me about all of them. Go ahead. Tell me about all of them.
hold on.
This one's
This one's from
that's from Illinois.
for like what year?
This one's this year from
This year
Chicago.
from Chicago.
Okay, and how did you compete in that one? What was that one for?
This one
It was for-
we went up to have him just learn how the trials would be, not thinking he would make
Oh my
trials
goodness.
and be chosen.
Oh my
Um,
goodness.
What about
And y'all, he just started like, seriously competing, like you said, 4 years ago?
Yeah.
Yeah, hold on. I'll be right back. I gotta go grab it.
And he's going to grab some more.
Oh my, he has more.
This
Oh
is
my goodness. So Mom, tell me a little bit about them too. I know he wants to tell me too, but I mean, how
Some
many
of
does he
these-
have there?
These are just the gold medals for the less. Here's
So
a
I can show her about
okay, yeah.
So
This
tell her
one.
about the Junior Olympics.
These are so Junior Olympics was, I think this is Junior Olympics last year. He
Okay.
won 4 golds at Junior Olympics for
Wow.
weapons, for everything he did.
Wow.
And because as a black belt he won 4 golds, he won this prestigious award called the what's his name? The Joel Farrell Award
Award. In 2022 for last year.
for last
So,
year. He won it as the youngest
wow.
athlete in karate to ever win it. And those
Wow.
that win it get their name put on a plaque in the AAU headquarters.
Did we ever get to see it?
We haven't gone seen yet.
I
But-
Okay, but you've been to Scotland, you've been busy.
The way when they win it, they give it to one male, one female, and it goes to the most athletic, most sportsmanship kid.
And you got that back when you were 10?
He got it at 10. And it's the most
TJ.
prestigious one that anyone could get in AAU.
Unbelievable. And you got a handful of gold medals there, and you've done all of this in 4 years?
Yes.
In 4 years when you were able to formally, and you said you started all the way from the beginning. You had to start all the way from the beginning again and go through all of those steps again. And these are all of the accolades that you've gotten since then. If that
Yeah.
doesn't tell y'all something about perseverance, if that doesn't tell you something about drive, getting all those gold medals, I mean, he got a handful. So he's gonna go and grab a few.
Wait, how
And-
much is it? 17?
And that's only the gold. And that doesn't have the Scotland golds in it because they hang them up in the dojo to show the
Huh?
kid like the
Okay.
I got 17 goals. So this is only like 12. This season,
Oh my
I got
goodness.
17.
Yeah,
Just
Yeah.
the season you got 17?
that's the season.
So you have gold medals, and then you won silver and bronze medals for
Yeah.
other things.
And then they have the
I need a wheelbarrow.
they did a picture of him last year and he had the most medals on the team, and they did a picture this year, he had the most medals on the team.
Oh my goodness. TJ, you're killing them. You're killing them.
But
You are
they
doing your thing. I am so extremely proud of all that you are doing, and you're still keeping your grades up. And you said, what grade are you in now? You're in 7th, did you say?
Yes.
7th grade. Oh my goodness. And then Mom, before you blink, he's gonna be in high school. Are you ready?
I
I'm
know.
not ready. But I'm not ready for you.
Why'd you turn the light off? It's getting dark.
Well,
It's
hold on.
okay.
About to
we can
wrap
still
up.
see you. We can still, yeah, we lost a little bit. There you go. There you go. He's back. Well, all I want to say is we are so extremely proud of all that you are doing. You are an accomplished young man who is out there, you're setting the example. Other little young Black boys, everybody, I'm saying that is so exciting. That is so admirable because there aren't many people who can do that. And I'm sure that you are appreciative of all that your mom does to support you, you know? Is there something that you can say about your mom and all that she does to help you?
She works hard and it's a lot of money. I'm thankful that she pays for it because the price for it is a lot.
Yeah, I'm sure all the equipment, all of the uniforms, and I'm sure you're not shrinking in size. I'm sure he's getting taller every minute, Mom. So you've got to be able to look. High waters are not working. I'm sure you can get away with some things, but I mean, I'm sure there are a lot of, like you said, expenses, but just the fact that you appreciate all that your mom does is huge because some people just say, oh no, they expect that that's what you're supposed to do. No, it's a lot. It's a lot of hard work. And it's a lot of hard work on her behalf too. So I know you're thankful for her. And I'm sure you're glad to hear that, Mom, that he appreciates all that you do and the sacrifices that you make,
Yeah,
So what
he's
I'm gonna do,
conscientious too. So he'll try to say, let's not do this. It may cost too much. So he's even conscientious of it. He's
wow. See, and you're doing things that most adults trouble doing. Okay, I mean, and like I said, you're doing all these things in your young life. So, as we start wrapping things up, I want you to tell me, TJ, or for those who are listening, for those kids who may be listening to the show and having a chance to see it, what is something that you want to say to them? What are some words of encouragement that you can give to them?
Um, just keep striving. Just yeah. Don't give up when people try to take you down.
Yeah, honey, it doesn't get any simpler than that. One thing that my grandma told me when I was little, she always just said it's nice to be nice. And I was thinking, okay, yeah, well, so it's nice to be nice. All right. I never thought it was something so powerful, but it is so powerful when I think about when you're nice to people and you establish relationships, how much that means. So just for you to even say, just don't give up. Doesn't matter what anybody says, don't give up. You said keep striving. Doesn't have to be any more than that. There's some people who think they have to give a whole speech. No, just keep striving. If it's something that you want to do, just keep going at it, and then eventually you'll be able to go for the gold and you'll get it over and over and over again, just like you did with all those gold medals that you brought out here and talking about you still had more. I was like, is he gonna go back to get wheelbarrow? Bring all that stuff out. It's like, wow, we are impressed. I'm impressed by all that you're doing and the fact that are appreciative of those around you who have helped you and have supported you. And that you keep saying, I'm going to keep on striving. I'm going to keep on doing. I'm going to keep on growing. And you're not just staying where you are and saying, I'm going to stop it. That's enough. You love it and you're going to keep going. So I'm going to keep on going. Because just like your mom said, you have a village behind you. And that's a blessing to be able to have people who are there, but behind you, supporting you. And just the fact that you say, yeah, I know it's a lot. And I appreciate that. That's going to take you far, young man. It's going to take you far. Okay. So one thing that I want to do before we wrap things up is, Mom, if you can tell us, I know you said that he has some competitions that are coming up. Talk about what he has coming up and about a way that we can help to support him, whether it be through prayer, whether it be through financial prayer. What are some things that we can do to help, in supporting him, as he moves forward?
Yes, he has a tournament coming up in October, October 28th in Virginia that we're going to be attending. You can send a Cash App to, what's your Cash App?
Okay, let me check.
In the meantime,
Come on, technology. That's all right. We'll do it. All right, so you said that he has a tournament that's coming up that's going to be in Virginia, and that's October 28th.
Yes, October 28th.
So
Okay.
it's root beer 172.
Okay, so it's $ root beer.
172.
I love it. 172. Okay, so $ root beer 172. If you want to support him as he prepares to go to Virginia for his tournament October 28th. And is he have any other ones that are coming up soon?
Just not in tournament. We're just getting ready to prepare for black belt. He's going for his first degree black belt. He's a junior black belt right now. You can also Zelle at Aunt Philly for his tournament as well. And then
All right, spell it out for me real quick. You said
Aunt Philly,
yes.
A as in Apple, and as in Nancy, F as in Frank, ILEE. That's the Zelle. And those are the two funds that we have right now.
Awesome.
And then the mother will have some fundraisers that we'll share in the near future.
Yeah, awesome. All right. So like I said, we got you down. We got that $ root beer 172, and then your Zelle is Anfilee, ANFILEE. And like I said, that will be in the description when your show airs. And so people will be able to support you, and I'll be supporting you as well. And definitely once you do your tournament, and if you win gold again, and even if you don't, go on back on the show and tell us how you did, and tell us how things are going with your training for your first degree black belt. Or what we'll do is we'll wait till when you get your first degree black belt, because we know you are going to get it, because that's what you do. Okay, we're going to have you come back and you can show us your belt and tell us all about that too. So once people come on my show, they're always welcome to come back. So now you are part of the How Now family, and we'll always be here to support you. And you can always come back and tell us how you're going, how you're doing. And so, one day I'll come back, and when you're in the Olympics and doing all of these wonderful, I want you to come back, and I'll be like, I remember he was on my show. He came on my show and hung out when he was doing, he was doing big things back then. So look, I already knew. So we'll have you come back and share all of that good news with us. Okay. So again, thank you so much for being on the show, for coming and hanging out and spending a little bit of time with us. We hope that things are doing well with the weather there. We know there's been some things going on there in Florida. So we're glad that you took time to come and be with us and to tell us about what it takes to go for the goal. Okay, so before we leave, I always ask my guests, what do you do? How are you living in this now? What do you do to create your peaceful existence? And that's my acronym for COPE. That means what are some things that you just do to keep from being stressed, put it that way, outside of your sports?
I want to say sleep, but
That's nothing wrong with that. Sleep is good, because you need sleep, because with all the physical activity that you have as a holistic nutritionist and as a health and wellness coach, yes, sleep is important, because that's how it gives your body and your muscles time to repair. So yeah, say sleep. Sleep is good. You need that. Because there's only 24 hours in the day, and it seems like you work in 26 hours out of the day. So
He's
sleep
trying.
is good.
He's trying.
That's it. That's right. So sleep is good. Like you said, Mom, what do you do? How are you living in this now?
Living in this now is, he picks at me. What as I said before, is I watch K-dramas. I sit, and even though I don't really understand a lot of it now, I'm learning though.
There you go. You have to be immersed.
I know more. Well, I'll say Japanese. I know
But
Japanese.
you watch Japanese because you watch anime as
I
well.
don't watch anime anymore, but I used to.
He used to watch anime, and he's forced to learn Japanese terms for karate.
And that's awesome. So look at that. All right, Mom, you're gonna learn Korean and Japanese.
I'm learning Japanese terms because of him as well.
Wait, let me test you. What's 10 in Japanese?
Ju.
What's 8 in Japanese?
Is it hachi?
No,
See, you don't even know.
All right, look how quiz. She's right. Okay. All right, look. See the tester being tested. Okay. Wow. All right, that's awesome. But look, keep each other on your toes. Keep each other on your
And
toes.
I learned Korean. I talk to my Korean patients in Korean because I'm watching Korean shows.
Oh,
That's awesome.
But I'm
So-
watching Korean shows to relax. And they're calming me down.
I hear some.
It calms you down and you're learning at the same time. Okay, so I'm thinking he gets it from his mama. Some of that perseverance, some of that drive, that is awesome.
See?
The accent. I see. I like the accent.
Do you know how to say, how do you say goodbye?
How
You
you
know how to
say
say goodbye
Japanese.
Yeah.
in Japanese?
See there?
Yeah, okay, look, I was just saying because I was gonna say that's how we get in the show. You can say goodbye. Okay.
That's Spanish, dude.
I know. I
So he says adios. Okay, look, in any language, that's okay. Look, you're bilingual. We'll take that. We'll take that. So like I said, thank you guys so much for being with me, for taking time to come and talk about going for the gold and about perseverance. And there's nothing but love. Nothing but love. You can see it. You know, all the support, all that you're doing in your community, all that you're doing to be a role model. Again, we applaud you for that, TJ. You know, you're an awesome kid, and all I can see is great things happening for you. Okay, so like I said, we're here to support you. We want you to come back and tell us all about it as you're growing, as you're learning, as you're training, because you are a superstar. You are a champion, at least in my book. Okay, and those who will get the chance to see the show and learn more about you are going to see that you're a champion as well. So thank you for being here, Mom. Thank you for being there, for supporting him, for joining us and being a part of the magic that is Mr. TJ. Mr. Terrence TJ Bright. All right. We know that your future is bright. It's in your name. Okay. So we got you covered. Okay. So again, thank you. And I know that you are always welcome back. All right. And so that will do it for this edition of the How Now podcast, where we talk about how to live in the now. And until I see you all the next time, I say peace.
Bye.